Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us today on Sunday Sessions. Who we have here is my wife, Jenny, joining us today. And we have Todd and Leah Getz joining us all the way from Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right, guys?
Right. Yep.
Very cool, very cool. So we're here in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm just fired up to have you guys on this Be Live conversation right now on Sunday night. Being that we just came from an awesome event in Austin, Texas, with a community that we've been a part of, MLSP, My Lead System Pro. While this conversation is not directly or so geared toward what MLSP really is, I wanted to bring Todd and Leah because they have shown the type of lifestyle that is possible through internet marketing, through affiliate marketing, through applying some techniques online, and as a couple, as a team, in order to be home raising their family and putting the ducks away, right? As I understand, you guys have pets going on, but they're actually food, aren't they?
Yes, some of them.
Some of them, yeah. Cool. So let me put in my title there. So the title, guys, of this talk is Dynamics Within a Couple as Home Business Professionals. So, guys, if you happen to be joining us, feel free to type your questions here. But one of the first questions that I had for you guys is, besides the marketing strategies and funnels and CRMs and all of the cool features that the MLSP platform brings to us, what is something that you both can name? Leah, I'm going to ask you first, and then Todd, and then as a couple. So this question is really broken down into three. What is something that MLSP has brought to you guys personally and as a couple that you can really quantify, besides the actual technology and access and mentorship and coaching and all that stuff? What is something that you can share with us?
So something that beyond that you can't put a price to the community and the friendships that we've built, even within people who we've generated as leads a year or two ago, and now they're some of our best friends. We've worked with them in business for quite a while. And then some of the friendships that we've formed with other leaders in the industry, and just kind of the being around people who are a little further in their journey than you keeps you growing and keeps you thinking bigger, right? Keeps you stretching. And so I would definitely say the relationships have just changed our lives.
Yeah, and I just running off of that is the power of association is just so strong within that community that if you take advantage, if you know how to take advantage of it and just really friendships, but network. I mean, especially when you go to a live event like Live the Dream, and you're able to talk with people, and you're not always talking about business, but it does come up, right? But you're just having a good time with people, getting to know them, figuring out who you're on the same wavelength with, right? Finding people who think the same way that you do, that have the same likes. Even though you've never met before, you've seen each other online, but you find people that you want to connect with, see what they're like, and some great things can really happen. Business relationships, just tips and just the things that you learn that you don't really learn through a webinar or a training, a training video or something like that. It's just being able to make those connections, and then after the event, going onto a chat and saying, hey, had a great time chatting with you. Just had a quick question about something that came up during the conference. How do you do this or that, right? And suddenly now you've got a business relationship that you're going forward, and you never know what that can turn into in the future. I mean, we've last year Live the Dream 7, we came away with some good, strong business relationships. Excuse me. And then this year, just even more of those, like people that we didn't really get to know the first time, we got to know even better this time, and it's just such a cool thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for sharing, guys. Now that we're on the topic about the event that just took place 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks or 3? Was it 3? 3 weeks.
It's all been a blur. No.
I'm still fired up about it. So, being that we're still on that topic, Todd, I was so surprised and, well, not really surprised, but really voice again on the first conference call that we had in the morning, Tuesday, right after the conference call. And totally hit it out of the ballpark when you said that events don't change lives. That, and you totally destroyed that. This is a life-changing event, cliche, phrase. And why don't you share a little bit more about that, because that really put me into gear even more so than I was at the time when I heard you.
Right, and that needs to be put into the proper context, because Brian didn't exactly like the way I put it, but yeah, events in and of themselves don't really change your life, right? And they can provide the spark, they can provide the inspiration, right? They can be a catalyst for you to make the decision to change, right? It can be that moment where you finally decide, where you finally see what you're going to do and what you need to do.
Yeah.
But what actually changes your life is what you do every single day after that event, right? Waking up every single morning when the excitement is gone, when all the emotion is gone, and what are you going to do, right? Because all of a sudden you're put back into that environment where, you're coming home to a stack of bills, you're coming home to a messy house, you're coming home to needy children. If you got teenagers, they probably got relationship issues, right? And it's just all these things that are suddenly creeping back in that kept you in the same place that you were before. How are you going to overcome that?
Right.
And it's your daily method of operations, the things that you're doing every single day that's actually going to change your life when you change your business. Because if you come right back home and you're doing the exact same thing that you were doing before, nothing's going to change.
In a way, it almost kind of counters that. But the one piece that I would argue that would change your life for real is the relationships. The relationships at events will change, because those are the people that you decide to partner with, even if not officially, but just as accountability partners and touch base on those. So many stories that I heard this week at Live the Dream were people that they met someone who was in a similar place in their journey, who wanted a friend to work with, right? And then together, they worked together, they supported each other and changed their lives together. And so I would say the relationship side definitely can change your life from events. And our business has been changed every time we've gone to a live event. Something huge has happened to us from that live event.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. And hey, Anthony, I see you. Thanks for sharing the video. Henry, Nate, Robert, thanks for watching.
Henry's a good name, guys. So hi, Henry. This is our Henry.
No kidding. Oh, cool.
Yeah. See,
that's so cool that you guys get to include him in in this conversation. That's awesome. A quick thing, guys. So you've achieved a level of leadership within the MLSP community, and a lot of people don't know exactly what that is or what that entails, or might not even care what that is. But you reached that level in I attended your webinar, which was advertised as, you reach, this many sign-ups within the MLSP field program in a short amount of time, relatively, right? But you guys were so cool to share from stage that process actually took 18 months, not just the 67 days that you gave, an extra push, but that was actually part of an 18-run process.
Right.
And I can hear everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly it. It was 67 signups that we got in a 19-day period, and it added quite a bit of residual income to our business. So that was great, but it also expanded, it brought a bunch of people into MLSP and exposed them to an opportunity for them to build their brands and everything else. So it was, definitely win-win. But you're right. Like I said, it's not, there are people who can sometimes, they come in and they have, within a couple months, they're getting some huge results like that, right? for the most part, that doesn't happen. For us, it took us 18 months to get to that point where that was even possible for us, right? Because we were building our audience every single day. And again, this goes back to your daily method of operations. What are you doing every single day to build your business? So, I mean, we're blogging 3 times a day, doing videos 3 times a week, doing videos a couple times a week, and just being very consistent with it. And I showed you exactly everything I did every time I create a piece of content. And then I do that 2 to 3 times a week. And I did that for 18 months. Leah was on the phone every single day, getting better and better, calling leads, closing leads, figuring out exactly how to, figuring out where they are at, what they're open to, and what's going to be the best solution for them. And so, putting those 2 things together, me doing my work on the back end, Leah doing her work on the front end, and just, being consistent with it, making sure that we're getting results. And if we're not getting results, going back, seeing what we can do better, and just continually just being consistent with it, getting better and better, and just doing that day after day after day for 18 months. And then just making a decision saying, okay, let's focus on this and see what we can do. And boom, 67 signups in 19 days. And if we wanted to do it again, all we got to do is flip a switch and get to work.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you guys for all the tips shared with us here today and with our audience. Guys, what did you used to do before applying internet marketing into your lifestyle? And I imagine you're pairing that with network marketing. Would you be today on a Sunday night be looking forward to another week of productivity, of spending time with your little ones? How would that be if you didn't have internet marketing and marketing, just basically?
Right. Well, I would be on a plane right now, flying off to who knows where in the country, just getting ready for another week of work. Yeah. Before this, I was an IT consultant, and I would travel out every Sunday evening. 10 hours of travel. Then I would work 40 hours during the week, and then on Thursday night or Friday morning, another 10 hours traveling back home, and just repeat week after week after week. Before that, my bachelor's degree is actually in music education. I was a band director. I only did that for 3 years because my job was, I was let go from my job twice in 3 years. So it was, I went into it thinking it was going to be a stable, secure career path to go in. They all talk about, teacher shortage. Well, what they don't tell you is that the reason for the teacher shortage is because people just quit. It's not because we don't have enough people going into the profession. It's because people get in, they figure out that it's not everything that's cut out to be, and they just quit and leave altogether. And that was me. 3 years of that. My job got cut twice, and so that was enough. And I went back to school, got re-educated, went to a different career field, got into IT consulting. Leah was doing that with me for a number of years, and for a while we were both traveling, Sunday through Thursday or Friday, and that was before kids. But it was when kids came that we knew that we needed to do something different. We couldn't keep living this lifestyle, and that's kind of how we fell into network marketing and internet marketing after that. So.
Very good. Thanks for sharing. Leah, I see that you are busy. Your little one requires your attention immediately. But thank you so much for sharing a piece of your life right now on Sunday night. You got anything to add or any questions that you want to address?
No, I just want to say that, thank you guys for, being such an awesome couple and spending time with us, sharing about your journey as us as a couple, starting out to try to work as a team is challenging, because it's easy to get consumed with the daily hustle of life. I know I'm finding that challenging. So, and I know that my husband is happy because I'm here by his side. It's where he wants me to be, and I want to do that with him. So it's awesome to be able to follow you guys and to be one of these empowering couple leaders that are paving the way for us and that we can follow. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to our journey and learning more from you guys.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing. We appreciate it, guys. Yeah. Again, we're looking forward to your call tomorrow. You have a daily wake-up call to lead tomorrow, so definitely looking forward to that.
Awesome. All right, guys, you're on the right track, having mentors who are doing the couple thing, and keep it real. It's not easy to be your business partner, to be your spouse. And if you pretend everything's amazing and you're perfect people, that's not relatable, right? So people understand that we have different personalities. Just a piece of advice, find your own specific skill sets and hone in on those, and let each other take over those pieces of the business. So you're not stepping on each other's toes all the time. You have your own delegated responsibilities. And I think that's really been helpful for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the other thing that we've had to learn is that, especially when you do something like that, right? When you each have your parts of the business that you're building, as entrepreneurs, you realize, I mean, one of the things that's always in your face is that you're failing forward, right? And it's easy for, like, in a couples dynamic, it's easy for me to say, yeah, I'm failing forward, but it's much harder when I see my wife failing forward, and I see her doing something that I think I know better, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, if you do that, it's not going to work. You need to do it this way, right? It's easy for me to say that. And and we will give each other that feedback. But here's the thing: is that you need to be able to let your spouse fail forward as well, because those are lessons that they need to learn. And it's the hardest thing in the world to do, to see your spouse go down a path or to make a decision that you think that you know better, right? That it's something that you think that they shouldn't be doing. And you never know, because there's times where Leah said, okay, I'm going to do this when I start calling leads, or I'm going to start saying this. And I'll say, no, I don't think that's going to be right. You really shouldn't do that. You're going to blow it, and blah, blah, blah. And sure enough, she'll do it, and she'll stumble across something that it just works like butter, right? And all of a sudden we're bringing in 14 people in a single day, like we did the last day of our run. So.
Yeah. That's impressive. And that your heartfelt tips definitely resonate with us. Appreciate you guys.
Excellent.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for showing up. Jesus, Henry, Anna, thanks for joining us. Erin, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you. See you guys. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Take care.
You're welcome.